Thank you so much, Courtney. We're talking about vacation budgeting and vacation planning. So we've got the expert Dan Chimetti here from Consolidated Credit. So last year, I was looking at these statistics, $32.7 billion spent by Canadians overseas, and just across the border into the States, $20 billion. So we're looking at some ways to make sure that our vacation money goes far, and it begins with planning before you even take off, correct?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, putting pen to paper, it's all part of that cognition about learning about where we're going to spend our money, making some goals, being able to achieve them. So you really do have to do some careful planning with regards to your budgets.
Now, when we actually get on vacation, a bunch of different saving methods. Let's first talk about gratuities, because this is something that you may not plan for. You think flights, hotel, that sort of thing. Who do we need to be tipping, and who do we need to leave money for?
I mean, it comes down to just about everybody. You know, the bellman who's carrying your bags, to the bartender, to just about everybody. Even, your cleaning staff. You want to keep those people in mind.
Okay, I got to ask about that. So do you tip like each day throughout? Do you tip at the end with the cleaning folks? Will they take the money? Do you have to leave a note and say, this is for you?
Yeah, I think what you might notice is if you leave money around your hotel, provided it's a good hotel, nobody's going to take it.
Yes.
Right? We'll be okay. So you might want to leave it at the end with a note just to say thank you, for your service or whatever the case may be. That's going to help you out.
If I'm traveling to the States, should I be just taking my credit card? Is that good enough? Do I take out some cash beforehand? What do I do?
Well, the debate rages on, right? It's easy to overspend while taking a credit card with you, but for security purposes, it's always a good idea. I like to see people spending cash because you automatically know what you've spent. You can make adjustments on the fly. Whereas with a credit card, it's very easy to go over.
Yes, with cash, you see your wallet getting thinner and thinner and lighter, and you wonder, where did that all go?
Right.
Let's talk about the fees and stuff that can be associated with using credit cards. When I'm going to that store and I see, do you want to pay in Canadian funds or U.S. funds? They've done the conversion for me. Do I click the yes button and go through the store? Do I let my credit card take care of that?
I mean, you're probably best to take a look at the interest rates and also the fees that are, possibly accrued through using that credit card. Some credit card companies for overseas purchases will charge you anywhere between 1% and 4%. So you really want to know your credit card contract and understand it. The other thing is if you're going to use your credit card overseas, you should call ahead before they cancel it on you.
Oh, very important. Yeah, you don't want to be stranded in Europe with no access to your money anymore, correct?
Yeah.
All right, so another thing I was going to ask you about was insurance, because maybe you're going to the car rental place and you've budgeted for the car, but then they surprise you. They're like, we have theft insurance, we have if you hurt someone else insurance, we have if you hurt you insurance, we have if it's a rainy day insurance. Are those things that we actually need to be spending money on? How do we know if we're covered? What do we need to worry about there?
Yeah, Drew, it's a great point. I think, a lot of people make the mistake of, paying on their credit card and taking the insurance as well. You can go to different websites, compare credit cards, understand what the benefits of having certain credit cards are. Some of them will cover the insurance for you. So if you use that credit card to rent the vehicle, you are covered. But you want to check and make sure that you have those coverages available to you.
All right, so maybe doing a little bit of research ahead of time to make sure that you are covered for the things that you need to be, because there's no point in getting the double insurance.
Absolutely.
All right, so we've talked a little bit about the pre-planning, coming up with a good plan before you go. That's going to be a key factor in making sure that your vacation money goes far. We talked about educating yourself on what your credit card actually covers and doesn't cover, and then the cash credit card debate kind of rages on then, correct?
Yeah, and the other thing to consider is the kids. If you're taking kids on vacation, you really want to make them responsible for their own gift purchases and things like that. Give them an allowance. Say you've got $20 at the end of this trip to buy something that you like to take home as a memory, and put a limit on it.
So that's the trick then. Give them their own money so they're responsible. They can pick out their own thing. That's their big souvenir, correct?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you so much, Dan.
No
Some
problem,
great tips for your vacation planning this summer. We're taking a little break on Breakfast Television, but when we come back, we're giving you some ideas to keep your kids educated and engaged throughout the summer.